Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Bravo. Hi, Sparkles. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Justin. Hi, Jade. Hi, Robin. Hello, Jamie. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? I've missed you. Hi, Phoenix. Hi, Tater Tot. Hi, C. Hi, Courtney. I was just telling Jade that you came in last night, too. I miss you. Hi. Hi, Lady Rose. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Lily. Hi, Lemons. Hi, Eric. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Dan. How's it going? Thank you, Graveyard Shift. Hi, Chedsy. Hi, Maze. Thank you, Robin. It's my pleasure. Oh, really, Yaya? Oh my God, that makes my heart so happy. Tell your mom I said thanks. Thanks for listening. Hi, Nancy. That's so sweet. Pooh, you must not come in very often because we tell the grilled cheese story every night. Yes, feel free, you guys, to put in all capital letters your story requests and I will write them down. Welcome to the porch. Happy Tuesday. Hi, Sharper. Hi, Monique. See, the Tesla story and the cat story are two totally separate stories, just an FYI. They're already gone graveyard shift. They get rid of gifts all the time. They're like monthly. Thank you, Crystal. Hi, Linda. Hi, Sophie. Welcome in. And welcome in, everybody, if you're new here. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and they are available on my YT channel as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you can hear me. Also, all of the links are in my bio. And I've seen a couple requests tonight for random stories and books. And just to clarify, I do not read anybody else's work. I only read mine. There's copyrights and stuff like that. So, plus, I am here to read the stories from my channel and grow my channel. So, sorry guys, I'm not going to read Beauty and the Beast or the UK Forest or whatever the other request was. Sorry. You're absolutely correct. Yeah. That is a must for my tour. A must. Also, just a reminder that tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I do Witchy Wednesday lives during the daytime, and I'm on camera and I just hang out and say hi. Sometimes I take you guys outside. Sometimes we talk about crystals, astrology, anything. So feel free to join me, please, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll hang out. I don't tell stories. I just hang out on camera, get to know everybody, have a good time, that kind of deal. So if you feel like joining me tomorrow on TikTok at 1 p.m. Witchy Wednesday is exclusive to TikTok. It is not on live YT or live Twitch. Sorry guys. Okay guys, I wrote down all your requests and I'm going to set up the first poll and I'll be right back so we can vote for the first story. And if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner? There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow our beautiful porch. I'll be right back with the first poll. Justin, I just saw your green eggs and ham comment. Way to go, Mary. Venus's repost button is still missing, I think. Hi, Frog King. What do the frogs have to say tonight? Oh, and thank you, Sparkle Tree. That's so sweet. By the way, you guys, someone just came into the YT chat. Their screen name is definitely not the Frog King. Okay. And then they wrote in all capital letters, I am the Frog King and I speak for the frogs. So, what are we wagering here? Is it the Frog King or is it not? Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I said, what do the frogs have to say? He said, he just answered. He said, they say ribbit. Come on, bro. Come up with more. Come on, ribbit. Your entire screen name is Frog King, and you came up with they say ribbit? I really, really thought you'd have some more clever quips than that. Come on. They say ribbit. Well, Frog King, can you tell them that I say Bud, why, sir? And see if they get it. They might not be old enough. Oh my gosh, they like my background music? I'm honored. Tell them I said ribbit. Ribbit, thanks. You know what? A lot of animals like my background music and amphibians. A lot of my friends' dogs and cats fall asleep. Thanks, Frog King. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock. We're about to vote on the first story. So sit back and relax. Oh, they don't get it? They don't get the Budweiser joke? Okay, so the frogs are kind of young. Tell the frogs to give it a goog and look up Budweiser frog commercial. It was from a million years ago. And it's kind of funny. And it's like major frog cameo. So I feel like they might like it. It was a long time ago. I was like a kid, I think, when those commercials were out. But they were silly. They were silly. Okay, you guys, the first poll is ready. And we have, and if you're on TikTok, you can vote. If not, don't worry about voting. Or Justin will take your requests and go over there and vote for you because he's an amazing human being. Justin, he said amphibian was my dancer name in the wetlands. All right, guys, we have on the poll for the first poll of the night, we have the Michigan Dog Man. We have the camper van. We have the Phantom Ride. We have the Devil's Tramping Ground. And we have the Lake Worth Monster. You can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner. And you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. So who's it gonna be? We have the Michigan Dog Man. We have the camper van. We have the Phantom Ride. We have the Devil's Tramping Ground. And we have the Lake Worth Monster. Right, Snyder? Oh my god, yeah, look at him in his little magnifying glass. God, I love Jungle Blitzy. He's so cute. Hi, Down Nola. How's Montana? Thank you so much. Welcome in. Aw, did you guys hear that? Miss Faye really wants Devil's Tramping Ground, she said. So what you gotta do, Miss Faye, is champion for it next time. And tell everybody, hey, I really want this story. The Porch Pals are really cool. And sometimes they just get behind one person and vote for their story until they win. So if you have one you really want to hear, let everybody know. Yes, and then they do the stinky leg. I myself prefer the Dougie, but, to each their own. And the Michigan Dog Man is the winner. Aw, Holly, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You're the sweetest. Thank you so much. And thank you, Brittany, for the cozy cryptids. All right, you guys. The winner was the Michigan Dog Man. Okay, Mace. And thank you, Down Nola. I'll be right back with the tale of the Michigan Dog Man. And if you guys could do me a big favor while I'm setting that up, if you could hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other. It says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. So welcome in, grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. I'll be right back with the tale of the Michigan Dog Man. Thank you, Mace. On the video version online, like the recorded video. Thank you, Graveyard Shift. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Little sunbeams come through the trees. Thank you so much, Graveyard Shift. And yes, if you guys haven't noticed, I do try to use purple and or green in most of my backgrounds because I like those colors. That's literally the only reason. I like those colors together, so I think they go well. I don't think they're used together nearly enough, so I like to combine them in my backgrounds a lot. Usually almost all of them will have some form of purple or green, if not both. Thank you, Lacey. Thank you, Michelle. And I do choose purple or green, kind of depending on the story, and then occasionally they get both, like this one. And the Selkie story has both, and Natchez Trace has both. Yes, aura colors, exactly, Phoenix. Really, Tina? I love that. Yeah, my YT really hits different in the early morning hours. It'll make you pass right out. Right out. I mean, it does at night too, but I have British friends that come in the morning. My one friend, he says that he comes in to say hi when he gets up, and he's like, I wake up and all of a sudden I'm sitting in your live and it's over and I slept for another hour. I'm like, sorry. Hi, Mic Drop. Thank you. What about my YT, Skrilla? Oh, yeah, YT. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Simone. Thank you, Vinny. Thank you, Eric. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Palace Society. This is the tale of the Dogman of Michigan. Yeah, Lacey, it happens all the time and it's so annoying. And yes, Lonnie, we haven't even come close. We've barely gotten over 100 to 200,000 tabs lately. So yes, if we could ever get back to 1 million, that would be crazy. Holly, thank you. That was cool. What was that? I've never seen that. That was really cool. Yeah, me too, Lacey. But I'm convinced now that 1 million, because it happened for like 3 days in a row. And then it happened the next week. I'm convinced that million was because somebody who was present had their tapper on a bazillion or something, and then they just like stopped coming or something. Because we haven't ever even come close to that since. So I'm not really sure what kind of crack was going on those 2 weeks, but it was glorious. I got 400 new porch pals on one of those nights, which was amazing. So yeah, it would be lovely to get to that kind of tappage again, because seriously, I had no idea how much taps make a difference until we reached 1 million taps and I got 400 new subscribers. So it was a wild 3 days, Lonnie. It was incredible. So whoever the tapping god was, or whoever blessed us with their tapper those 3 days, thank you. I don't think they come anymore because but quick swig and I'll be right back with the dog man. Yeah, I don't know down NOLA. It's very weird. I get about 500 people on TikTok, and on YT I have like 10. So I'm not really sure how their live algorithm works or how to share it out with people there or anything, because YT is not really a social platform like the other ones are. So there's really not even a way to like share it out, and I don't really know how to share it to people who subscribe to me without, just they were notified through the notifications. So yeah, it's pretty, it's been really, I don't know, I kind of thought it was gonna do better over on YT, to be honest. And T-Witch, everybody kept saying, go on T-Witch, go on T-Witch, go on T-Witch. And I did, and I literally have no one. Like, there might be 2 people, and it's people who felt bad for me and went from TikTok over there to say hi. But T-Witch, in my opinion, as of right now, sucks. Like, all people did was hype it up, and I have had like no engagement on there. Like, nobody. There's like sparkle trees, and that's it. Like, just lovely sparkle trees. And every once in a while Nancy comes to say hi over there, and then a couple others, but that's it. Yeah, but Dawn, everybody told me to stream on that one. And now I'm like, why? Like, why? I've never been a gamer, and I had at least 20 people tell me to stream on that one. And yeah. But at this point, it's not that much extra work because Restream does both. So it's whatever. Oh, thanks, Julie. I appreciate it so much. Janet, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Oh, you randomly came upon it. Thank you, Down Nola. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I post all my videos and started originally on YT, and then I went to TikTok to try to grow my audience, which I did, and I started doing my lives, which I'm forever grateful for. And then I just started streaming the lives over on YT. But I started on YT with just doing my long form videos, and we are close to the same age, Down Nola. So welcome in. I'm glad you found me. I don't know how you did, but you're one of the few that YT must have pushed me out to. So thanks for being here. And thank you to everybody tapping the screen. You can tap on all of the apps, I believe, in some form or fashion. Thank you for sharing it out and reposting. It does help. And word of mouth. Even texting your friend. You don't even have to share it out on this app. You can straight up copy it and text it to your friend and be like, hey, trouble sleeping, or like spooky stuff, or whatever, Oh, really, Tyler? Oh, you are usually on Twitch? Okay. So there are a couple people over there watching. Thanks, Tyler. And I appreciate it. Oh, and I appreciate your sneakiness. I appreciate your sneakiness. All right, be right back. Really, Whitney? I find that hard to believe. Oh, Tyler, you're Wriggles. Oh, yeah. Okay. I know who you are. Hi. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Dogman of Michigan. Hi, Katie. Yes, graveyard shift. It's because I'm a siren, and that's me in the background going, and that's why you fall asleep so quickly. Tyler, that's so sweet. You have my permission if you ever, I'm not sure how that works, but I would love that. That would be really cool. Thanks. I really appreciate the collab. You like that down, Nola? The Porch Pals love when I imitate my music. As someone who has spent years researching paranormal and supernatural stories and traditions, I've learned, sorry, Phoenix made me laugh. I've learned that legends tend to survive for a reason. Sometimes the reason is cultural, sometimes historical, sometimes psychological. And every once in a while, the reason is because something actually happened to someone, whether they understood it or not. This summer, I decided to drive up to Michigan to spend a long weekend with my friend Ange. Ange and I met on TikTok through a mutual interest in folklore. And she'd lived in Michigan all her life and knew the state's forests far better than I did. She also knew exactly how to get me interested in a road trip. A couple weeks before, she had sent me a message containing nothing more than a photograph. The image showed an old newspaper clipping, and the headline read, "Local hunter reports encounter with upright canine." The article itself was from the 1960s. Ange had found it while researching Michigan folklore to help me with story ideas. Then a few days later, she uncovered 2 more reports. Different decades, different witnesses. Nearly identical descriptions. A large animal, dark fur, wolf-like head, seen standing upright. All of them occurred within roughly 30 miles of one another. Most people are familiar with the Michigan Dogman because of the famous radio song that popularized the legend in the 1980s. But what interested me was everything that came before. The older reports, the ones recorded before the creature was ingrained in Michigan folklore. Because witnesses from the 1930s, 1950s, and 1960s couldn't have been influenced by a modern legend that they had never heard. Yet, they all described remarkably similar encounters, and that was enough to get my attention. The plan was simple. I'd spend a weekend with Ange roaming around the mitten. We'd film some material for some porch lore content, visit a few historical locations, talk to locals, and get some local oral history and folklore recorded. Maybe gather enough information for an interesting story. Nothing more. Neither of us expected to become part of the story ourselves. I drove up to Grand Rapids on a Thursday afternoon. Ange was meeting me there, so we could follow each other to the first destination. Ange and I complement each other really well. She's practical but funny. She's also the type of person who would happily spend 6 hours researching century-old newspaper archives, and then spend another 6 hours arguing against half the conclusions people drew from them. She's a deep thinker and she loves to analyze ideas with me, which makes her a perfect travel companion. She's also a December Sagittarius, so she's much more of a planner than I am, which I truly appreciate. So, she already had an itinerary prepared. 3 historical locations connected to early Dogman reports, 2 interviews with local residents, and a rented cabin near the edge of a heavily forested area where multiple sightings had supposedly occurred. During the drive north, we talked almost nonstop, which I love. We discussed how many of the sightings clustered around old logging communities, and several involved hunters, and a surprising number occurred near waterways. By Friday morning, we were driving toward the first location, an abandoned logging settlement that had been reclaimed by forest decades earlier. Very little remained. A few stone foundations, pieces of rusted equipment, scattered evidence that people had once lived and worked there. The woods surrounding the site were beautiful. Not ominous, not creepy, just dense. Towering white pines rose above the trail while ferns covered much of the ground. We spent several hours filming, taking photographs, discussing the historical reports. And nothing unusual happened. The second location was similar. And again, nothing strange happened. By late afternoon, we had accumulated plenty of footage of the area, but very little mystery. Then we met the old man. His name was Harold. He lived alone on a property bordering several thousand acres of forest. Ange had arranged for us to have a brief interview with him. Thank you, Amanda. Harold was in his 80s, sharp-minded and super friendly. The kind of person who immediately feels trustworthy because he doesn't seem to be interested in impressing anyone. When we mentioned the dog man, he chuckled. Not dismissively, almost fondly, like someone remembering an old family story. According to him, people in the area had been reporting strange encounters for generations. But the details changed, depending on the decade. Sometimes witnesses described a creature covered in hair. Sometimes a wild man. Sometimes a giant wolf. So eventually, the dog man became the preferred explanation. And then he told us about an old fire tower deep in the forest. Long abandoned, and years earlier, several hunters had reported unusual activity nearby. Missing equipment, footprints, strange observations. Nothing dramatic, just enough incidents to make people uncomfortable. So, the next morning, we set out to find it. The hike took nearly 3 hours. Most of the route followed old service roads that hadn't been maintained in years. And it was a rough hike. Trees had begun reclaiming large portions of the path, and several times we had to climb over fallen trunks. The farther we traveled, the less evidence we saw that of any recent visitors. No fresh tracks, no litter, no campsites, nothing. Eventually, the tower appeared through the trees. I stood above the forest canopy like a rusted skeleton. Much older looking than I expected. Several support beams showed obvious signs of corrosion. The stairs remained intact, but they looked questionable. Ange took one look at them and announced that she wasn't climbing that thing. And I'm scared of heights, so there was no way that I was going up that rickety old thing. We spent nearly an hour filming around the structure, and again, nothing unusual. Except the fact that one of my backpack straps broke, and I had to try to shove as much as I could into my crossbody bag. I left my backpack at the tower. I would grab it on our walk back to the car later. Then Ange found the first footprint. The impression appeared in a patch of damp soil near the tower. Roughly human in shape, but far larger than any human foot should be. We both photographed it, and then we saw another, and then another. A trail of prints led away from the tower into the woods. I remember feeling excited. Not frightened, but excited. Because evidence meant an investigation. An investigation meant answers. So, we followed the tracks. The tracks continued for almost half a mile. Sometimes visible, sometimes disappearing. We continued deeper into what seemed like a forest of endless trees. And then we finally found a clearing. And the center contained a structure. Not a building and not a cabin. A platform, constructed of logs, weathered by age. It looked decades old, perhaps older, and neither of us understood why it was there. Then we noticed what surrounded it. Objects, hundreds of them. Rusted lanterns, tools, buttons, pieces of camping gear, old bottles, a broken compass, a hunting knife. Scattered items from different decades. Some seemed to be very old. Others looked relatively modern. It didn't look like a campsite. It looked like a collection. People didn't accidentally leave this much behind all in this area. Someone or something had gathered this stuff for years, maybe even generations. And then my jaw dropped as I noticed my backpack, the one I had left near the tower 40 minutes earlier. It sat on top of the platform with its broken strap, perfectly centered. Neither of us moved. Someone or something had taken it. So let's get this straight. While we were following the tracks, something had reached the tower after we left, taken my backpack, and then beat us back there half a mile through the woods and placed it there deliberately. Ange grabbed my arm and said that we needed to keep moving, and I agreed. Around sunset, we stopped at a clearing overlooking a marsh. The location was beautiful. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Whitney. Golden light reflected across the water, and dragonflies skimmed the surface. The air had finally begun to cool. And then Ange suddenly froze. I followed her gaze across the marsh, and perhaps 200 yards away, something moved between the trees. At first, I thought it was a bear. Michigan does have black bears, and that would have been a perfectly reasonable explanation. But then, the animal stood up. Not reared like bears tend to do. It stood, like a person rising from a chair. The creature remained partially obscured by vegetation, but I could clearly see the silhouette. Tall, massive shoulders, an elongated head. It stayed motionless for several seconds, watching us. The distance made details impossible, yet every instinct in my body reacted immediately. It was a predator. Then the thing turned and walked behind a stand of trees and vanished. Ange lowered her binoculars and neither of us spoke. We just stared at each other with our mouths wide open in awe. We left shortly after, and the hike back to the car was terrifying. The sun was setting fast, and we kept seeing shapes between the trees. A silhouette disappearing behind trunks. Always far enough away to prevent identification, but always present. It followed us all the way back to the tower and all the way back to the trailhead. Always just out of sight. I don't know what we encountered in those woods. Maybe it was the dog man. Or maybe it was something else entirely. But I can't stop thinking about the collection we found. The hidden platform, the decades of objects gathered in the forest. Because that suggests intention, curiosity, intelligence. Not some random animal, not some mindless predator. Something that watched people, something that learned about them, something that kept pieces of them, something that has been studying us humans for a very long time. And that's the tale of the Michigan Dog Man. Thank you so much, Graveyard Shift, for helping me with my gift gallery. Thanks. And thank you, Speedy, for the hand hearts. Well, Pooh Bear, you don't poop in people's yards, do you? Like, I would hope not. I'd hope you'd go in a toilet. Thank you, Michelle, for the bag. Okay, Thay, what is it? And it's Justin and I have a question for you. But go on. What's the question? I always think it's funny when people say, "Can I ask you a question?" Or "I have a question," but just ask it and I'll either answer it or I won't. The preface of "I have a question" or "Can I ask you a question" is so much more awkward than just asking the question. Just ask it. Stan, I live in the United States. How about you? Me too, Kim. It spikes my anxiety. That's exactly what it does. That is exactly what it does. I actually cannot stand it. Ask your question now. Yeah, Skrilla, it's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. And now she's not asking it. Ask the question. Well, Matt, they put me on the spot. They pinned it and said, "We have a question, so ask it." Hello. Thank you for the cactus shuffle. Yeah, maybe it is getting filtered. Oh, Justin's writing it. Jesus Christ, that must be a long ass question. Oh, you pinned it, Jade. Yeah, Pin, you've been Jade. Pin, you've been Jade. Jade, you've been pinning a lot of random shit tonight, haven't you? Ma'am. We want to know, what is your vibe trip when you get high on... What do you mean? What do you mean? Tanisha. I fucking love Tanisha, dude. She is so funny. She is so funny. Yeah, what do you mean? Exactly, what do you mean? I feel like that's the kind of question people who don't know Mary Jane would ask. Because I don't even know I don't even know what you mean. I'm very, yeah, I know, they only give you so many characters. Oh, like what do you do? Do you trip out on watch trippy movies? Justin, have you never tried Mary Jane before? Because no, I don't watch trippy movies. It's not acid, you guys. Matt, well, that's because you just ask it. Don't say, "I have a question." Just ask it. That's like, I mean, that's basic communication rules. Yeah, Andy, does it sound like the story's over? I mean, yeah, it sounds like I'm talking, doesn't it? Who eats snacks? What kind of snacks? They. I just don't understand. She said that went terrible. Thanks, guys. No, I just am like you're quacking. I just mean like do you mean like you, what kind? Or like, because I'm a sativa girly, if that helps answer. Kim, I'm laughing too. It's making me, it's cracking me up. I love it. Thank you, Timberlake. Like, I love Faye and Justin so much because they cooked this up, and I really thought it was going to be like, I don't even know what the hell kind of question I thought it was going to be, but I didn't think it was going to be. I didn't think it was going to be that. And now I want to know what they mean. Okay, so I'll ask the reverse question. They and Justin, what are you like when hanging out with Mary Jane? Things you think of, well, oh, okay, Justin, that makes more sense. They says, I'm sorry, guys, we were high. Okay, so I am a hyperfixate and lose track of like 3 hours in a garden center and leave with no flowers. But I'll tell you, I have learned like every kind of flower that exists in that garden center by the time I'm left. Did I buy any of them? No. But I can tell you the difference between the 2 different kinds of foxgloves, 3 different zinnias, and I had a hell of a good time. So that's the kind I am. Or like I'll go to the park and rock hunt, and I'll look down and I'll be like, I'm just going to do some quick hanging out at the stream and look for some shiny rocks. And then I look at my phone and it's been 2 hours. That's me. That's the kind of, or it can be used for good, where I'll like sit down to write a story and then I look and it's been 3 hours and I've written like 3 stories. So I would say time blindness and hyperfixating on stuff and learning things and going on adventures. Yeah, time doesn't exist anyway. We made it up. But I'm not like a couchy kind of person. I am like a, do you want to go to the garden center? Do you want to go find lizards? Do you want to go like check out rocks? Do you want to go metal detecting? Do you want to go lay in the grass? Yeah. Justin said, that's on us, pals. We didn't think this through. She's the sneak Gouda cheese into the US type. That's exactly true, Robin. Yeah, I don't want Tanisha. No, I am not the kind that wants to go into a crawl space and hunt for earrings. I wish I had energy when on that. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, Lily, is you probably have only tried sativa, and I don't like that really that much, because the same way makes me have no energy, and I just want to like veg and like do things with my significant other if I have one at the time, and just like watch TV and loaf and like eat things. It's not my favorite, so I agree. But the other kind, the sativa kind, is I feel like I could like invent something, like a world-changing invention when I'm on that shit. And I haven't, but I sure feel like I could. Jade, I think I missed the first part of your sentence, because what? Yeah, Jeff, that's part of the reason I like Mary Jane. It's for, like, half those things you mentioned, but mostly anxiety. Right, Siren? I haven't, but I feel like I could. Well, and that's me. I literally have always had delusional confidence in myself, and I honestly, at this point, I'm like, a lot of my little ventures have not worked out, so I'm not really sure why I still have this like somebody the other day, Skrilla, asked me what was my story on what like made me start my channel, and I was like, Or like if there was like a epiphany I had, then I was like, not really. I just kind of, and he was like, so you just one day were like, I can do that. And you just did it. And I was like, yeah. Like, I am so delusional when it comes. I'm like, I'll just teach myself how to do. I can learn that. I'll do it. I'll master it in a week. And so yeah, I don't always though, but I sure think I can. Yes, my little ventures. I've had a lot. I'm a little entrepreneur. I'm not a 9-to-5 kind of gal, and I've tried to fit myself into it. It doesn't work. So then I come up with all these little ventures that haven't really worked out that well, but you know, keep trying. Okay, time to set up the next poll. You sure did, Justin. You sure as shit did. I'm just kidding. Oh, we got people over on YT saying hybrid all day. And then Tyler referenced a video I don't think I've seen. How do I come up with the stories, Sparkles? Well, I have been obsessed with supernatural and paranormal folklore and stuff since I was a little girl. And most of the shows I watched when I was a kid, like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, So Weird, Eerie, Indiana, all those are my inspiration. I also have people email me regularly and tell me about their state's cryptids or weird legends. And then I have a list that I go through. And the Michigan Dog Man was probably one of the most requested cryptids I've gotten besides the Chupacabra, which I find interesting because I live on the border of Michigan and I honestly had never heard of it. So that surprised me because you guys love the Michigan Dog Man because he has been requested for months. I'll be right back with the next poll for us to vote. And if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner? And there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other. And it says repost, and that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Hi, John. By the way, did I hear somebody come in earlier and say, on her YT, do these stories not have music and the pauses she takes? It's not my listening style. Okay, well then go find a different storyteller. What? Can she change her entire cadence, background music, and everything? It's not my listening style. Like, keep scrolling. What the fuck? Like, my God, the entitlement people have these days is really mind-blowing. You could just like not comment and like keep scrolling by. Yeah, it's insane. It really is, Mary. The audacity. Yeah. Complaints aren't really my listening style. And that's true, Kim. And you know what is, I actually learned about it in one of my communication classes, and they warned us about this like a long time ago, that with niche marketing and everybody having subscriptions now where you don't actually have to sit through commercials. You don't have to sit through songs on the radio. You have control over all of your entertainment, to where now that is being applied to entertainers and people feel like they can just fucking demand whatever their style is. Oh, honey, I'm not your algorithm. Go find someone else then. She's like, can I turn down the music? Less pauses. Can you raise the pitch of your voice? Like, are you serious? Like, ew. My God, listen to yourself. Take a step back and like have some self-awareness. Yes, Are You Afraid of the Dark was the inspiration for my channel. It's like my baby. I love it. That's why my beginning of every story, I copy them. Yeah, really, Julie. Yeah, it's literally go touch some grass. Holly said, Goat Man is my listening style. Oh, it's that same girl. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Robin. People say that all the time. People, and I'm like, that, what? And like the no music? What is she talking about? That's so, like, silence? That would be weird. And how, like, what about pacing and cadence? Like, I literally time it to the music. That would be just a completely different style storyteller. Yeah, literally, Mariposa. I've said that to people before. I've been like, why don't you go live and do it the way you want? Get out of here. Yeah, Bo, she's lucky. She's lucky that I was in the middle of telling a story. That's all I've got to say. I know, Graveyard, and literally, like, she's the first person that's ever complained about the music in the history of my life. Most people come in and desperately beg me to know what the music is or how they can get it or turn it into ringtones. She straight up was like, does her YouTube have no music and no pauses? No, honey, that's called AI. That's called a robot. Can she not breathe in between words, please? Yeah, well, Jade, that doesn't change the fact that that's a ridiculous, that's ridiculous expectation. Yeah, Tanisha said, so today Devin is full of trippy questions and unnecessary demands. I mean, really, though. Thanks, Sarah. That's so sweet. Sherry said, is she related to Travis? And Lovely said, life is not their listening style. Oh, damn. When Lovely comes out, when Lovely starts talking smack, that's when we know it's serious. Thanks, Rich. Yeah, Robin, like, not my listening style. What does that even mean? Your listening style? I don't even think you get to have a listen. I'm the one telling. You either listen or you don't. There isn't such a thing as a listening style. That's literally asinine. I'm sorry. That doesn't even make sense. Like, what do you mean? Your ears tell you? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Anyway. Goatman's your favorite? I love Goatman too. And exactly, John. Exactly. Tanisha cracks me up. Tanisha said, "Oh, Holly, I hope you're feeling better. I'm glad you fell asleep to me giggling." So am I, Lovely. Thank you so much. Because I feel like I am getting fed up too. Like with the entitlement that people have coming in here is wild to me. It's bizarre as shit. But I'll continue to tell them. I'll continue to let them know. You gonna learn today. Yeah, Spooky Cabins. Yeah, she said my listening style. I've never heard of that either. A listening style doesn't exist. Tanisha said sell your eardrums. Okay, I'll be right back with the poll. Wait, Kim, pin your jab. Pin your jab. I didn't see it. I missed it. Guys, I think we should start. I'm going to start saying my listening style to people. I'm going to be like, you know, like when people are talking and I don't want to listen to them anymore, they're just like telling me a stupid story, or like it's a like obnoxious person somewhere. I'm going to be like, you know what? This whole conversation is just not my listening style. Exactly, Matt. It does sound like something Squidward would say. I'm going to use it too, Julie. This week, your guys' mission is to go out and tell someone that something is either is or isn't your listening style. Oh, I bet, Archangelo. Yes, everybody needs to report back with the responses you get. Jeff said he's going to tell it to his boss. Okay, you guys. The next poll is ready. You're going to use it on your sister? Oh my god, I can't wait to hear everybody's. You guys need to come on, solar guy, knock on my door. Okay, Candy said her teens. Okay, you guys, next time, it's brilliant. Next time, anybody who uses it, we have to share it with each other in the Discord feed, how we've used it, please. Because this is going to be our new thing. It's going to be hilarious. And I thank that girl for bringing this to us, because amazing. Do I have a favorite vampire movie? That's a good question. I'm not like a huge vampire girl, but I guess Interview with a Vampire probably. All right, you guys. Yeah, Kim's going to tell her supervisor that tomorrow. Yeah. Oh my god. Maybe we're going to get t-shirts. Yeah, it's so good, right, Kim? Interview with the Vampire is so good. I think we should get shirts that say Porch Lore, and on the back it says, "It's not my listening style." I can't. And this is why, like, the criticisms never even get to me. I'm like laughing about it. It doesn't even bother me. I'm like, oh really, food? Okay. Okay. I can't. That'd be such a funny shirt. Okay. All right, the poll is yeah, it'd be a great mug. You're right, Kim. Okay, we have a Lep Castle. We have Tesla. We have the Phantom Ride. We have the Clover Door. And we have the Versailles Time Slip. And you can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box. And you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Yeah. Oh my God. That I like it's just so funny. Yeah, Jeff, we could insert anything on the front. Country music, not my listening style. Self-righteous people, not my listening style. Hi, Angela. Hi, Lovebug. You missed somebody who came in and asked if I had my stories on my team without music and without pauses because it's not her listening style. And we were just like, none of us have ever heard anybody say that before. Like, what's a listening style? Like, Mace, thank you for the cowboy hats. See, Angela said, great new shirt. Plus, spooky music and slow reading and long pauses is literally like my entire brand. Lep Castle's a loser today. 0 votes for Lep Castle. Lep Castle can go cry. But yeah, literally, Angela, so now we said that we're all going to use it this week on somebody. We're going to say, like, I'm sorry, but that's just not my listening style. And then we're going to report back to on the Discord on what people's responses are. Kim said she's going to tell her boss, and so did Jeff. Yeah. Okay, Angela. So we're all going to use it at some point. You forgot about the poll, Justin. Oh no, because we were laughing so hard. And so, me too, see? And so now I'm like, I'm going to wait until because I've been going to the garden center the last couple of days trying to get my plants done. So I'm going to go to like the garden center and then I'm going to wait until a guy, because they always ask me if I need any help. They're always so eager to help me at Home Depot and Lowe's. The men are always like, hi, you okay? You need any help? What are you doing? And then I say, yeah, could you tell me where the coneflowers are? You don't know what that is? Okay, it's echinacea. No? Oh, okay. And then they're like, I don't really know any of the plant. Okay, then what did you ask me if I needed help? What the hell can you help me with then? What are your skills? Like, what were you trying to help me with? If you don't know where anything is and you know no names of plants, why are you standing here in the plant section asking me if I need help? Just because they told you to do that? Because that's part of your job? And you can't actually do it? It's crazy. I can tell you, and it's not even just the men. Like, I've gone up to people in the plant center, like a woman, and been like, can you, it's always like some college age girl. She's like, I actually don't know what that is, but the perennials, the ones that I think come every year, are like over there. And I'm like, you know what? And you know why? Because gone are the days when people who were the manager of like Sears could support their whole family. So they were actually like invested in their jobs. Now everybody's like, I don't know. I get off in an hour and I fucking hate this job. I don't know anything about plants. You're like, okay, that's super helpful. Cool. I would love it. I would love to live in the world again where people actually knew things about what they were doing. You know? Really, Kim? Yeah. It's true though. It's like, and it's sad, but like nobody like, and it's true. Like even my friends who have gotten those jobs, that I've had friends that are like, I got a job at something. I'm like, do you even know anything about that? They're like, no. I'm like, cool. Yeah, they don't even act like they care though. It's a reach for sure, but guess what? I'm 700 years old. So I remember the day when you could walk in and that dude would tell you about every single appliance and how it worked. And they would tell you the best accessories for the things. And they would know every name of the plant and what south-facing window your hydrangeas needed to be planted at to make sure that they thrived. And guess what? Now, they don't even know what a coneflower is. Or a zinnia. Those are the two most standard ass flower. Like, dude, have you had tea before? Echinacea's on like every tea. Like, what? Anyway. Yeah, thank you, Kim. Woo cha. I know. I just can't. This is why Kim and I are friends, because I know that she would be ranting with me right now about this. But sometimes I miss my past lives, you guys. Remembering them is a bitch. It's a real bitch. It sure is. Like, don't even get me started on when things were, when there were real craftsmen in the world and things were handcrafted. And, the hinges of doors. You know, no big deal. Okay, so Lovely, are you in here? Is Lovely paging Lovely? Tesla won. This is Lovely's favorite story. She's been waiting for this to win for a long time. All right, I'll be right back with the tale of Tesla's crystals. Yeah, but Mr. Beast, you said I wouldn't get that job because I have no clue about different plants. No, but you would get the job. That's what I'm saying. You would absolutely get the job. You could go to Lowe's, Home Depot tomorrow and get a job. And you don't have to know a damn thing about plants. Matt. Yes, Lady Rose, exactly like that. Katie, oh, welcome to the porch. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, Phoenix, I do actually love that one. And all of that series, Blythe, Manor, all of those. I loved all of those. The whole, like, that whole crew was very good. The Fall of the House of Usher. I was very happy to see that. To see some classic literature redone in a spooky way. That made me very happy. I feel like I don't need to yell, not the car. What do you mean? Not the car. Oh, because of the story. Now I get it. Look at you guys tapping away tonight. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, Lovely. It took me a minute. Also, if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. If you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow this beautiful porch. And Jordan, you said that they get paid the same as the person that doesn't know about plants. They shouldn't be working at the place in the plant section. That's the thing. It's not about incentive to learn. They shouldn't be hired at a place that they don't know anything about the stuff. Unless there's training, and there's clearly not. Because people still need to be able to make a living at any job they do. But they shouldn't be hired at jobs that they don't have the skill set or knowledge for. And thank you. Is it Lysol? Thank you. No, Renee, that's the thing is those places aren't hiring anybody that knows about plants. They're just hiring people. Because I don't think there's enough people that know about the plants to want to work at those jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm so glad, Liesel. I'm glad you can relax. Thank you, Archangelo. I love that one. It is so pretty. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, KLJB. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Palace Society. This is the tale of Tesla's crystals. Also, just to let you guys know, sorry, I should have prefaced this. I do have a separate series of stories I do called The Unexplained. They are not spooky, they are just unexplained. I am actually not specifically a paranormal girly. I like anything that is unexplained. So yes, ghosts and that kind of stuff falls under that. But I am actually interested in all of it. And so I have an entire playlist. And those of you who actually check out my YT channel already know this, but you're missing a lot if you don't partake in my YT channel, because I am an unexplained science girly at heart, and I have a whole series called the Unexplained series that is 30-minute episodes with me in them, and I go through and explain actual documented things that are unexplained. So this is one of those stories. Yes. Thank you so much, Julie. So this is one of those stories. Oh, thanks, Sparkle Trees. And this is Lovely's favorite. I have had to condense it and shorten it because these stories are 30-minute episodes, and that's a large chunk of the live. So this will be the shortened version. The rest of the story is in full version on my YT. I am just reading a little chunk of it so that maybe you guys will want to go listen to the rest. But this is probably one of my best stories ever. So pay attention if you can. Turn on the attention spans. Quick swig and I'll be right back. Phoenix, I would do the full chunk, but I've noticed the longer the story, the less people tap, the less people gift, and the less people pay attention. I don't know why, but the stats show it, that the shorter stories get way more taps, way more gifts, way more comments. And the longer stories, it's like you guys just zone out and stop doing anything. So unfortunately, I'm not going to read the 30-minute one, yeah. Oh, Lonnie with the corn. Aw, thanks, Drew. Yeah, because people are paying attention. I agree. That's really kind of you to say. Did Nikola Tesla discover a way to pull energy from thin air? Some say yes. And the key to his discovery wasn't in wires, copper coils, or steam. It was in quartz crystals. You heard that right, quartz. The very same mineral used in watches and beloved by crystal healers and rock collectors worldwide. But for Tesla, quartz wasn't just an ordinary rock. He believed it had incredible power, enough to tap into the earth, the energy of the earth itself. Tesla was a visionary, and his obsession with quartz crystals went far beyond just their beauty. He thought they could resonate with the natural frequencies of the world around us, and even connect us to something far greater. So why would Tesla, this genius inventor, be so obsessed with quartz crystals? Was he just chasing a dream of free energy? Or did he stumble upon something far stranger than that? Tesla's ideas about electricity, energy, and the universe were unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. His obsession with frequency and vibration led him to discover the potential of harnessing energy in ways that seem impossible even today. Tesla was a man who saw the world in a completely different light. While others saw electrical power and energy as something limited to wires, Tesla saw the universe itself vibrating, pulsing, alive with invisible energy. Thanks, Skrilla. That was so cute. Thank you. His obsession wasn't just about creating new technology. It was about tapping into the fundamental forces of nature. And in his quest to unlock the mysteries of the universe, Tesla discovered something that would eventually captivate him. Something simple yet profound. Quartz crystals. Thank you, Graveyard Ship. Thank you so much. Oh my God. But what did these seemingly unremarkable stones have to do with his grand vision? You might think of quartz crystals as little more than decorative items, found in jewelry and used in watches. But for Tesla, these crystals were the key to understanding the very fabric of reality itself. Thank you, Graveyard. Thank you, Shorty. In the summer of 1899, Nikola Tesla packed up his work and moved to Colorado Springs, leaving the hustle and bustle of New York City behind. But it wasn't just for a change of scenery. Tesla wanted to escape noise. And not the typical noise you would expect in a busy city. He was after something more subtle. Thank you, Graveyard Ship. That's so pretty. You see, Tesla was obsessed with listening. Not just with his ears, but listening with his entire body and mind to the frequencies of the world around him. He believed that everything, every planet, every atom, every single object, even an apple, had a vibrational frequency. Yes, Blondini, it was his listening style. And as we all know today, he was right. In Colorado Springs, in the quiet isolation of the mountains, Tesla could hear the hum of the earth itself. Tesla had set up a massive laboratory, complete with a giant Tesla coil, a device designed to generate powerful electromagnetic waves. It was here that Tesla believed he could harness the Earth's natural vibrations. With a 200-foot antenna, Tesla began transmitting massive electrical currents into the atmosphere, testing the limits of what he could achieve. But what's really interesting is what he received back. Tesla didn't just send signals. He was detecting signals too. strange pulses and rhythms and frequencies from the earth. He believed that these were not random. They were resonances embedded into the very fabric of the planet. And in his quest to capture the Earth's hidden energies, Tesla used something crucial: quartz crystals. He believed quartz crystals could help him tune into the natural frequencies of the planet. They could act as resonators, amplifying the energy he was trying to capture. But what exactly did Tesla think was going on with the Earth's vibrations? And how did quartz crystals fit into his grand plan? And that's where things start to get even more mind-bending. Now, to understand why Tesla believed quartz was so powerful, we need to talk about resonance. And don't worry, we're not diving into a physics textbook. Let's keep it simple. Resonance is what happens when one object vibrates at the same natural frequency as another. It's how a singer can shatter a wine glass by hitting the exact pitch that causes the glass to vibrate in sync until it breaks. It's also how radios work. You tune your dial to match the frequency of the station you want, and boom, the signal comes through. Tesla believed everything in nature had its own frequency, not just machines, but people, plants, crystals, even the earth itself. Now here's where quartz comes in. Quartz has a very special property called piezoelectricity. When you apply pressure to quartz crystals, bend it even slightly, it actually generates a small electric charge. And when you apply electricity to it, it vibrates. And not randomly, but at a very precise frequency. That is why quartz are used in watches, in radios, in computers, and basically anywhere you would need a stable and reliable frequency. But Tesla believed that this was just scratching the surface. To him, quartz wasn't just a clock component. It was a tuning fork for the earth. Remember earlier when we talked about Tesla hearing the earth's frequencies? Well, it turns out the earth really does vibrate. It's called the Schumann resonance, a low-frequency electromagnetic pulse created in the space between the surface of the earth and the ionosphere. It naturally oscillates at around 7.83 hertz. Now that number might not mean much to you, but that is the same frequency as alpha brainwaves. That's the meditative state your brain goes into when you're calm, relaxed, or deeply focused. Tesla believed that by using quartz, he could resonate with that frequency. And if he could match it, maybe he could extract energy from it. His idea was simple but revolutionary. If you could tune your equipment to the same frequency as the earth, you wouldn't need wires. You wouldn't need fuel. You could just pull raw energy directly from the planet's electromagnetic field. He called it wireless power. And crystals, especially quartz, were the tuning mechanism, just like a radio dial. But instead of music, he was tuning into the earth itself. Back in Tesla's day, this was seen as madness. Scientists and engineers couldn't wrap their heads around the idea of a world without power lines, without combustion, without oil. But Tesla wasn't trying to invent the future. He was trying to return us to the natural order, where energy wasn't something we mined or burned. It was something we resonated with. And quartz was the tuner. It was the key to unlocking the planet's natural energy system. And here's where it gets really weird. Because Tesla wasn't the first person to believe in the power of quartz. Ancient civilizations from the Egyptians to the Maya used it too. And some researchers believe that they weren't just using it for decoration. They were building entire structures around quartz to tap into the same thing that Tesla was chasing. Coincidence? Or were they all tuning into something they couldn't explain, but they could feel? Why did ancient civilizations build their most sacred temples with it? Why do we keep finding quartz, not just as jewelry or statues, but baked into actual foundations of pyramids, megaliths, and temples around the world? Could it be that Tesla didn't discover this idea, but rather he rediscovered it? Let's take a quick tour. In Egypt, many of the granite blocks used in the Great Pyramid of Giza contain a high concentration of quartz. And not just because it's pretty, but because of how it conducts vibration. Granite can actually amplify and transmit sound waves, especially when charged with pressure. And when you pack millions of tons of quartz-rich stone into a perfect geometric shape, like a pyramid, you're basically building a giant resonator, a machine. Now across the ocean to Mesoamerica. The Maya and the Aztec used quartz in many of their ceremonial tools and altars. Some of their temples, like the Pyramid of the Sun in Teotihuacan, is aligned with astronomical and geological energy lines, sometimes called ley lines, with quartz deposits found right beneath them. Good night, CJ. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe they were tuning into something. In China, ancient texts describe using jade and crystal to balance energy in the body and your environment. Very similar to what we now call vibrational healing. In South America, the ancient Inca used large crystal stone structures in their temples, built with precision so fine not even a razor blade could fit in between the stones. And then there's Stonehenge, which isn't built of crystal but sits on the land rich in piezoelectric quartz. And it is surrounded by strange energetic anomalies. Ancient people weren't just randomly stacking rocks. They were measuring, aligning, resonating, just like Tesla. Some researchers believe these ancient sites weren't just places of worship, but they were energy centers, devices. amplifiers that used vibration and resonance, possibly powered or enhanced by quartz, to connect with the Earth's natural energy field. Thank you, KLJP. Now, if that sounds like what Tesla was doing in Colorado Springs, it's because it's the exact same principle. Crystals embedded in structures would resonate with telluric currents, which are natural electric currents in the ground, and transmit energy across long distances. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, so did Tesla's ideas at the time. But stop and think about it. Tesla was trying to send wireless energy across the Atlantic Ocean, using the Earth itself as a conductor. What if ancient people were doing the same thing, but using architecture and quartz instead of wires and towers? Tesla didn't think he was creating something new. He thought he was restoring something forgotten. And so, he built it. A massive tower laced with copper, steel, and you guessed it, quartz. The structure, in theory, could send power anywhere in the world for free. So what really happened to Tesla's greatest invention? And why did it disappear almost as quickly as it appeared? In 1901, Nikola Tesla began construction on a mysterious tower on Long Island, New York. It was called the Wardenclyffe Tower. Now to most people, it just looked like another radio antenna. But Tesla wasn't just trying to send messages. He wanted to send energy through the Earth. Not through wires, not through power lines, but wirelessly to anyone, anywhere on the planet, for free. Tesla believed these frequencies would create a resonant system around the entire planet. And what was his secret ingredient? Quartz. Tesla embedded quartz and other piezoelectric materials beneath the tower. He believed they would amplify the resonance of the Earth's own frequency, allowing him to create a planetary tuning fork. And once tuned, any device equipped with the right resonator could draw power from the air. Clean, safe, limitless. And that's when the trouble started. Because Tesla wasn't just building a power source. He was threatening to make entire industries obsolete. Because no wires meant no copper, no coal, no oil, no monopolies. And if you've studied a little history, you know that the greedy men who run the industries have never taken kindly to disruption, and especially not to generosity like Tesla's. Tesla had originally secured funding from one of the most powerful bankers of the time, J.P. Morgan. And yes, Paul, I know that's in the story that I'm telling right now. Why don't you listen? Tesla had originally secured funding from one of the most powerful bankers of the time, J.P. Morgan. But when Morgan found out that Wardenclyffe wouldn't just be used for communication, but for free global energy, he couldn't have that. So he pulled the plug literally. Tesla's funding dried up and construction stopped. And the tower, Tesla's greatest achievement, was eventually demolished in 1917. And the Wardenclyffe Tower was erased, and along with it, Tesla's dream of free energy for all. In the decades since Tesla's death, many of his ideas, like wireless energy, resonant frequency, crystal-based communication, have all quietly become real. And today, some of the world's most advanced technologies are powered by the very thing that Tesla was obsessed with: quartz crystals. If you're watching this on a phone, a computer, or a tablet, you are using a quartz oscillator right now. It's a tiny sliver of quartz crystal embedded inside your device. That's right, a crystal powers your smartphone. And what does it do? It vibrates very precisely. Those vibrations are counted by the device to keep time, to regulate signals, and to stay synchronized with the networks all over the world. Without quartz, our digital world would quite literally fall apart. But it goes way beyond phones. Quartz crystals are used in GPS systems, airplane navigation, medical imaging machines, satellites, radio transmitters, and even nuclear submarines. Anywhere that you need a reliable timing or stable frequency, you will find a quartz crystal doing exactly what Tesla said it would do over a century ago. And this isn't some fringe concept anymore. Modern engineers understand that quartz isn't just a rock. The idea that rocks contain natural energy isn't just woo-woo magic anymore. It is a precision instrument. It vibrates at predictable rates. It reacts to pressure with electricity. It turns electricity into motion, and motion back into electricity. It resonates. Exactly the way Tesla described it would. Because if everything is energy, if everything is vibration, then with the right frequency, you don't just change machines. You can actually change reality. And that's a hard concept for us to grasp. So what do you think? Was Tesla just a brilliant inventor who got in over his head? Or did he uncover something much bigger? Something the world or the powers that be just weren't ready for? To hear more about his patents that were stolen after he passed away and his hostel was raided, continue and listen to the full story of this on my YT channel. There's a 30-minute version where you will be surprised to hear the name of the family that stole 80 cases of patents that just disappeared from him. And then those families ended up investing in the original startups for all of the wireless technology that we have today. So yes, it's not a conspiracy. It's literally that evil. It's literally that awful. And it doesn't come to a surprise to most of us who know already the name of the family that did it. And guess what? They are still in power right now. Right now. So, that's not proof there's no justice. If Nikola Tesla is not proof that there is no justice governing things in this world, then I don't know what is. And yes, the spookiest stories are real. And no, Suzanne, not him. His older buddy, the one who's literally in charge right now, which I tell you guys about in my story. His uncle went in and worked for the Department of Homeland Security, and they thought that Tesla's science was, guess what they deemed it as? Because this is what the government can do to get away with anything. They deemed it a national security threat. Because that's what they can do. They can name anything a national security threat and then just get away with whatever they want. So they said that they thought that his science was a national security threat. So they went in and they stole it all. And it is the same family that still is running our country today. So if you want to hear more about that, the rest of the video is amazing, and it is on my YT channel. It is actually the main video pinned on my homepage, so you will see it first. And I will set up the next poll, and I will be right back. So also, let's just give a shout out to Nikola Tesla, because if you guys want to see pictures of him, give it a Goog, how he tested his Tesla coil by himself in a room in a metal chair and just let himself get electrocuted numerous times to test the effects of electricity and how it worked. He was an amazing genius, and I'm obsessed with him. So if you guys want to learn more about him and the genius that was way before the D-bag car company, take a deep dive, because he was amazing. Thank you, Catmandu. That's so cute. It's Daniel Boone and Nikola Tesla for me. I'm telling you. Thank you, Jackson. I appreciate it. Yeah, and then Skrilla. You know what, Pooh? No. Nobody can even apparently grow a mustache like that anymore. But God, do us ladies wish they did. Everybody went for beards instead, and they're like very not well-maintained beards. But dude, where are the Tesla stashes? Hello? Where's the Burt Reynolds stash? Give me a Tesla stash any day over an IPA I make them in my garage beard that hasn't been trimmed, and he went to App State. And he has a turquoise middle finger ring. Y'all know exactly the kind I'm talking about. He has like a black leather stainless steel band wrapped around his wrist. You guys know what I'm talking about. The leather banded man wrist slit. Melody, you got me. I did. No, I'm actually not describing an ex. I'm just describing half the dudes in LA when I lived there. Yeah, definitely not describing an ex, you. And yes, you got me, Melody. I did have a relationship with Nikola Tesla. Whoops. Jackson said my profile picture. No, yours has a mustache. Yours looks nice. Yours is well maintained. What do you mean? Yours looks good. Oh, Lovely said we gonna fight. Oh, girl, Tesla could not be tamed. He was a man of the world. He was the world's lover. Tremendous. She said, I thought so. But yeah, I'm telling you, man, Burt Reynolds. Yeah. Yeah, we like stashes. Ladies, who like stashes? Because, yeah, like Tom Selleck. Phew. Good thing I'm OC and not LA. Yeah, but Skrilla, we already talked about this. I know you wore Affliction. You probably definitely had that leather wrap wristband. Every guy had a leather. I don't know why. Y'all really like to wrap a piece of leather around your wrist for a while there. It was a thing. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Oh, but not the turquoise. Okay, good. Good. And I use that loosely. I say that as like a joking stereotype. I don't think guys still do that, do they? I just like to that's why I make it so overly dramatically stereotyped, because I'm not really talking about anybody. You skipped that fad, Matt? Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, yeah. That's pretty much, so yeah. It was definitely like a very big trend. Yeah, and Ange. Hey, Ange. Ange knows. The scruffy beards, the man buns, and the leather wristband. The leather bracelet. And a thumb ring. Or some type of giant rings that they would use to try to woo crystal girls. Be like, you see that? It's turquoise. It's malachite. And yes, Rockin' Republic jeans, girl, you're right. You're right. All right, I'll be right back with the next poll. Yeah, I have nothing against beards. I'm just saying, A, messy ones are gross. B, where are the stashes? I can like both. Just because I want stashes doesn't mean I hate beards. Can the stashes come back? Because everything else has seemed to be recycling. Can we get the 70s stashes back? They're at the fire station? Ooh. Good to know. Jackson. Did you really have a sign that said that? Because that would be my favorite thing on the planet. Because you guys, Jackson actually finds opal, digs for opals or mines for opals himself. And a lighter? What do you mean a lighter? I said, ooh, thinking about a fireman with a mustache. Oh, while eyeing a lighter, I get it, to light my house on fire. Get it. I get it. Now I get it. Jackson, did you actually have a cardboard sign? Not Charlie Chaplin mustaches. Ugh. I'd get in an opal van too. Okay, here's an example. Like Beardo in Ted Lasso. I'm sorry, no. His beard looks gross. He looks like he needs to be, I don't know, in like trying to be in ZZ Top but isn't long enough beard. Or like Crosby, Stills and Nash. Or like, I don't know. Just it's not a good beard. It's not a good beard. It's a scruffy, and that's the accepted look now. I don't like it. At least trim it. Come on. Do better. And you know why that is, Jade? Because Jason Momoa's beard, he keeps that shit trimmed. Except for when he's playing Aquaman, and then obviously it had to be really ugly and out of control. But Nikki, thank you for the jungle blitzy. You guys look at him. Ready? Look at him. He's got a camera. He's got a camera. Oh my God, he's so cute. Did he pound his chest? Did he just pound his little chest? Nothing XTR. We've been sidetracked all night. You haven't missed much. Nikki, thank you. All right. Setting up the poll. Oh my God, look at him with his camera. He's so cute. Stop it. He's in a different spot with his camera now. Sonia in Texas? Are you talking about Texas? Because I think the guys from ZZ Top are from Texas, right? Oh my God, look at him he has a little fancy computer. What was he doing? He took his laptop to the jungle? Yeah, that's what I thought. They were from Texas. Yeah. Okay, here's another beard that's good. Roy Kent. That's a good beard. Jade, it's a character. The actor's name is... I can't even remember, but he's so hot. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Bisbee. Okay, you guys, the next poll is ready. And thank you so much, Nikki, for spoiling me. You're so sweet. I really appreciate it. You have no idea how much it means. And how much I actually appreciate it, like, genuinely. Okay, we have The Stillness in the Cedars featuring Jade. We have The Door in the Water, which is the Selkie story. We have Highway 13. We have The Clover Door. And we have the camper van. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There is a blue box. And you can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. Good night, Lily. Sweet dreams. Love ya. See you tomorrow. Hi, Tommy. I'm glad you made it. Happy Tuesday. Also, I started rewatching Ted Lasso in excitement and expectation for the new season. So, hence all the Ted Lasso references. Because that's like on the top of my brain. Plus, Roy Kent. Whew. That story, Sonia, I don't know what to think about that. the porch pals are the ones that told me about it. And then I gave it a Goog, and I'm like, what? Like the amount of detail he gives is really bizarre. And when they did a physical on him, they found like certain things in his lungs that were from like deep sea plankton, or like it was stuff that like actually corroborates what he said. Like his physical was like stuff they couldn't really explain. So I don't know what to think, because that sounds wild. And like, if dolphins could talk to us and take us underwater and give us breathing apparatus, why the hell did they wait till now and one dude? Why haven't they been doing that forever? Like, hello? Like, I've come across dolphins. Why didn't they want to be my friend? Well, I'm not an engineer. So, but how'd they find out he was a good engineer? They have a laptop down there. They gave it a Goog. Best engineers in my area. And then they like got him to come to the beach and abducted him. I mean, that part, the logistics is what doesn't make sense. The rest of it, there's a lot of weird evidence that kind of corroborates it. But I don't understand how it came to fruition, which is the part that makes me doubt it. How would he be at the beach the exact moment the dolphins were like, there he is. There's the engineer. We looked him up. We know his resume and he's really good and he's an expert in the exact kind of architecture we need underwater. Like, that doesn't even make sense. How would they find him? How would they know? Can they walk on land? They went and spied on him in his house. They tested his lungs because he was like, he coughed up tons of ocean water because he was underwater for extended periods of time, and the exams showed it. Like, he had the like bends and all these other weird things. Like, he was actually physically showed signs of like being in deep ocean water for extended periods of time with no equipment. Yeah, well, he probably just went to the hospital. He probably went and had a physical. The cops don't have to do it. Hi, Auntiana. All right, Jade, story 1. Stillness in the Cedars. Yeah, and then he drew a complicated... Yeah, he did. He drew a map and everything. The whole thing is just... I don't know what to think. Because I don't get how it led up to that. I don't get how the dolphins found him. I don't get the logistics behind it. But the evidence and the details he gave is alarming. So I really don't know. Also, yes, this is the story where I hurt Jade's foot, and then somehow magically her foot is actually hurt. You laugh better in the dark? What does that mean? Well, yeah, Jackson, I understand, but I just don't understand, like, how they found his resume. That's the part that doesn't make sense. How'd they find his resume? Yeah, that could be... Holly says maybe there was a treaty between humans and dolphins long ago and they agreed not to talk anymore. All I know is that I want to know how they found his resume. On Syncton, Jack, that's amazing. Jack, bravo. That was fast and witty. On Syncton, that's how they found his resume. Some phones can work in water. Yeah, but what they do, use their fins? I don't know if it's illegal to try to talk to dolphins. Probably not. But I don't know. But it sounds like a law I wouldn't obey. I'd go straight to jail. Because yeah, right. Can't stop me. Talk to any dolphin I want. I'll be right back with the stillness in the cedars. Right, Antiana? Like, I'm going to talk to whatever dolphins I want. It's funny you say that, Jackson. I actually have a story on that as well. I have a 30-minute unexplained series about cats and their ability to pick up on frequencies that humans cannot. And that is also a proven unexplained science. Cats can pick up, they can see frequencies we can't. Like, we all know that microwaves and radio waves fly by us constantly, right? But we can't see them. Cats can. That's why cats are always looking at shit like me. They can see on a different wavelength than we can. And they can hear. Just like dogs can hear pitches we can't. And people think that's like really strange, but it's not magic. It's just science. Yes, you can hear the 30-minute cat story on my YT channel. It's the best. And yes, their purr is actually the exact frequency for tissue regeneration and reducing inflammation. The exact frequency. Almost like that's part of their job. Cats are my listening style, I'll tell you that. Cats are Merlin is my listening style. Yeah, dude, Merlin snores like you worked a 12-hour shift too. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is a little CPAP. This is the tale of the stillness in the cedars. A little CPAP. So cute. I grew up thinking I knew what silence sounded like. It was the hush that followed snowfall, or the way the woods paused at dusk before the crickets began. But the silence I met in the Oregon Coast Range wasn't peace. It felt like something was always watching. I came there late in the season, chasing the remains of a vanished town called Brookmere. A place wiped from maps after a landslide in 1924. Kitties don't fart? What do you mean? I've had cats my whole life and they don't fart. My research was on forgotten logging camps, how they disappeared and what they left behind. The archives had one photograph. A dozen men in suspenders, standing beside a cedar as wide as a boxcar. Your guys' cats fart? What? We gotta talk about this after the story. What? Behind them, the forest was already trying to swallow the mill. My good friend Jade lives outside Portland. So she decided to meet up with me for the adventure. And we hit the road. The Oregon Coast Range has a smell that never leaves your clothes. The scent of wet bark, rust, and salt from the Pacific pushing through every crack in the mountains. It rains there in ways that erase boundaries. And after 3 days in, my steps squelched. The trail, if you could call it that, was a faded survey line. Jade told me that the old loggers had a legend in these parts, and they called it the hide behind. It was a creature that lived in the cedars, always out of sight, feeding on men who strayed too far from camp. They said it moved faster than the human eye could track, slipping behind the nearest trunk each time you turned. It left no tracks, no bones, only an absence that smelled of rot and sawdust. We told ourselves it was probably just folklore born of too many nights with too much whiskey. But once we were in that dripping green labyrinth, I caught myself glancing behind every few steps. By the fourth day, the rain turned violent. The temperature dropped 20 degrees in an hour, and the wind came up the gorge like a freight train. Jade and I agreed that we couldn't make it back to the car before dark. Our map showed a fire watch cabin built in the 1930s, a mile off the trail near a ridge. If it was still standing, it would most likely be dry. So we followed the map, desperate for shelter. The hike there felt wrong. The forest wasn't swaying with the wind, it was bracing against it. The cedars leaned inward, their crowns knitting into a ceiling that blocked the gray sky. Moss hung like soaked wool. Every gust brought down needles in sheets. And when we finally saw the cabin, it barely looked like a structure. Just a shadow of timbers, the roof sagging under years of rain. Jade pushed the swollen door open. Inside smelled of mildew and cold ash. Someone had left a rusted stove, bunk beds, and a shelf of water-swollen logbooks. I lit a small lantern from my pack, and I spread out my sleeping bag on the top bunk. The rain on the roof was a steady roar. I told Jade that we would just stay one night, and then we could hike back down at dawn. And that was when we heard the first knock. Not thunder, not a branch, a deliberate tap near the back wall, like knuckles on wood. We froze, waiting for a second, but nothing. Then the wind rose again, and we both decided it must have been a branch shifting. About an hour later came another sound, footsteps soft but heavy, circling the cabin. I held my breath. There shouldn't have been anyone out here. The nearest road was 10 miles away. The steps stopped at the door. I killed the lantern. The rain went on, louder now, until the roof rattled. My ears rang from the pressure of listening. We laid in our bunks, frozen and terrified in the dark. When nothing else happened, we must have dozed off. Thank you, Nikki. I love that one. Then at some point deep into the night, a crash jolted both of us awake. Thank you. He's so cute. Thanks, Nikki. Jade screamed, and we both looked at the back window, which had burst inward. Shards of glass glittered on the floor in the lantern light. Wind poured through, carrying cedar needles and the smell of rot. And there was something stuck in the frame. A strip of bark, peeled as thin as skin. It curled inward like a hand. I told myself it must have blown loose from a tree. I told myself anything to try to stay calm enough to pack up my gear. But when I turned to grab my jacket, Jade was frozen in terror, staring at what appeared to be wet footprints. Thank you, Chelsea. They were leading from the window toward the door, and they stopped halfway across the room. We both looked at each other, and then we bolted. Thank you, Nikki. Outside, the storm had eased into a thick mist that moved between the trees. Our headlamps caught only the trunks, endless and slick. And every time I looked left or right, there was motion at the edge of my sight. Something shifting just beyond our beams of light. I began counting my steps, trying to keep from panicking. And that was when I realized the forest had gone completely still. No rain, no wind, no insects. The silence pressed so hard, my eardrums pulsed. And then the smell hit. Wet cedar and iron. Ahead, a hollow opened in the trees where the fog pooled like water. In the clearing stood the remains of Brookmere. Only the sawmill's foundation had survived, stones half buried in moss. The rest mere outlines, mounds where cabins once stood, rusted saw blades. In the center rose a single cedar stump taller than me, its heart split by lightning. Something moved behind it. I saw only a flash. It was pale with smooth flesh, and then it was gone, replaced by the trunk. I stepped backward, accidentally stepping onto Jade's foot. We both screamed. We were both on edge. Another flash, and this time from the opposite side. The thing was circling us, but staying hidden behind the trees, always just beyond sight. Jade looked at me with a growing concern and stuttered, I think it's the hide behind. The story said if you caught it in full view, it killed you. Maybe that was superstition, maybe not, but neither of us wanted to test it out. So we turned and we ran. As fast as we could without tripping. The forest didn't seem to have directions anymore. Each trunk looked the same. The mist folded sound, so our footsteps sounded like they came from everywhere. I ran until my lungs burned. And then I stumbled into another clearing, smaller, ringed with fallen logs. At the center stood an old logging skid, chains still wrapped around a buried axle. Hanging from one chain was a shape I thought was canvas, until it moved, and then I realized it was a coat. A human coat, rotted through, the fabric stiff with age. Beneath it, bone gleamed. My stomach turned. Someone had died here long ago, left hanging when the crew fled the landslide. Thank you, Shorty. The bones clattered softly as the wind returned, and I felt the silence break open behind me. I didn't even have to look to know that it was there. I caught a glimpse over my shoulder, an arm elongated and jointless, sliding back behind a trunk. Every instinct said to run downhill. Water finds the road, and the road would find us safety. Thank you, Nikki. We barreled through undergrowth until we saw the faint glow of my car's reflectors through the fog. The shape behind us moved in rhythm with our motion, each time vanishing as I turned around. When we reached the car, I didn't stop to look back. We piled in and we were off. I drove until daylight hit the windshield. When we finally reached the ranger station, the man on duty stared when I handed over the coordinates. And then he told us that the Firewatch cabin had collapsed 10 years ago, and the road beyond it had been closed since the landslide. He must have seen my hand shaking because he poured us some coffee and asked us what we had seen. We told him it was nothing, just a bad storm. But when Jade glanced down at her sleeve, there was a smear of sap across the fabric. Not amber or pine, something black, thick and still wet. That night, we stayed in the motel just outside of Tillamook. And in the middle of the night, we woke again to the smell of cedar and the deliberate sound of knuckles on wood. And that's the tale of the stillness in the cedars, also known as the hide behind, featuring Jade. All right, welcome in everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I am here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Millsy. Thank you, Matt. And yes, Stephanie, the new story is The Dog Man. Thank you, Pittsburgh Penny. Thank you, Whitney. You guys, I am very close to the 5,000 subscribers where I'm going to have to change my intro and outros again. We have 4,981, you guys. That is crazy. That is so exciting. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that so much. I know. I just looked at it to make sure Dogman was up, and I'm shocked. I can't even believe that. I didn't realize how close it was. That's incredible. Thank you, Justin. I know, I can't wait. Someday. All right, you guys, you know what time it is. Yeah, Stephanie, I was just checking. And I made sure, and it wasn't added to the all videos playlist. So it probably wasn't showing up at the all videos section. So if you check now, it'll probably show up. Because it was only under the bedtime stories playlist. I forgot to add it to the other two. So maybe it'll show up now. One zinger away, Henry. I want a zinger right now. That sounds so good. Yeah, that's probably why. I forgot to throw it into this all videos playlist. And when I don't do that, the playlists are the first thing you see when you go in. So that was my bad. I hope you can find it now. And thanks for watching my YT, Stephanie. I know, Jack, I got Henry into zingers. He tried them and now he's never going back. And I'm so proud. But now he brings it up and I'm like, God, I want one so bad. Sounds so good. And you know what? That's probably about the only thing I could actually get after my life, because gas stations are open late and they have zingers. Yeah. Anyway, you know what time it is? It's grilled cheese time. I'm going to take a quick swig. And I will be right back with the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Happy Tuesday. Also, don't forget, tomorrow is Witchy Wednesday. I will be live at 1 p.m. now. Not 11 anymore. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And depending on if we have thunderstorms tomorrow or not, I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but we'll be doing something. But if it's thunderstorming, we might just get cozy and like, I don't know, watch Ted Lasso together. I don't know. We'll hang out. We'll do something witchy and fun. And so don't forget tomorrow. No, a zinger is not a glorified glizzy. A zinger is a delicious, sweet treat. It's like a Twinkie covered in frosting, but better. So good. Yeah, history hot goss. If you want to hear the hottest goss about Daniel Boone and Andrew Jackson, meet up with us tomorrow, 1 p.m. Crystal balls, that's funny. I like that. Oh no, Andrew. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'll be right back. Quick swig. Yay, Stephanie, I'm glad. You're welcome. I hope you like it. I spent a lot of time outside today and like inhaled a ton of pollen, and you can start to hear I'm losing my voice. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thanks, Phoenix. That's because every time I mute, I've been chugging my throat coat and it's like only lasting for 2 sentences and then I'm having to chug again. And I don't usually have to do that. So my voice is struggling right now. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through. 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. had taken the wrong exit, trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years, but the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. Hi, Daniel-san. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made the sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet, like they weren't expecting me. Like I had walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart," she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth. The vinyl creaked, and I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard, drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes, even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee. Strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." "Good night, Jade, love you." That was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window and the storm was still going. But now the wind had picked up, and I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast, Too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks. But this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Jackson. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered, just once and then again, and then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back and the jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. No, not music, not a storm. A voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest. I turned the knob, locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and the rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm. And still half eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless. like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair. She took one slow step toward me. "The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in." She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally, shimmer. Like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it, underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second, I was inside, and the next, I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone, not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site, and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight, and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article? The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. And with that, I will wish you guys a good night. I love spending my evenings with you guys. Thanks for being here. I look forward to it every day. And if you can't join me tomorrow during the daytime for Witchy Wednesday, I will see you guys again tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But hopefully I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Witchy Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys get some wonderful sleep. I love you all. And if you can't sleep, head on over to my YT channel where you can listen to my bedtime stories playlist. Sleep well, you guys, and don't forget, stay spooky.